Welcome back to Rock and Rob's album review. Good afternoon, Rob. How are you?
Very well, Steve. How are you?
Very good, mate. Very good. Good to have you back on the show. And I'm always amazed when I see your background. Like, I mean, it puts my picture of the Who to shame. We'll have to have a show in itself about some of the stuff that you've got hanging behind you, Rob, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I've been collecting since the late 70s, and they've travelled through me, through then. Still got everything, so a lot's happened in life. These have stayed with me.
Fantastic, mate. And I've got to say, I recognise that shirt. You might be a Scottish Hearts fan, but I recognise that shirt you've got on, Bonnie lad. That's a Gateshead top.
That's right. I'm from Bensham originally. Moved up here late 70s. My dad is from North Shields. Bit of a character. He had 8 wives, and I'm being serious. So there's a lot of research being done. Yeah. He had a bit of a name for himself. He's no longer here. But so yeah, it's my roots. When I was trying to find my sister, I was in touch with Gateshead, the Heed Army, and they put me in touch with Searchlights, and they actually sent me this top and the Cup Winners 2 years ago T-shirt a couple of days ago. They still send me gifts through the post. So yeah, it's that thing. Home is where the heart is. Definitely, 100% definitely. Yeah.
Top man, great stuff. Okay, what album are we looking at today, mate?
Today is my childhood band. Still is my favourite of all time, which is Squeeze.
Fantastic. Squeeze. Yeah, there's the album cover. I've taken the liberty of getting a cover of theirs as well. Squeeze singles, 45s and under. So yeah, go on, mate. Over to you.
Well, like I say, first remember hearing them was in the 70s, late 70s. Back then, I didn't have a record player, Searchlights, but my sister used to have a record player, so I would go in and I'd listen to certain songs, and Squeeze would come on. Just took to them. I don't know what it was. It was just like a connection, but started in 1974. So next year, 50 years have been going. They're actually bigger now than they ever were. So much bigger now, so much bigger now. It's different than Tilbrook. Glenn Tilbrook on the vocals was differed on lyrics. It used to be called South East London's Lennon McCartney because of the writing partnership. Glenn Tilbrook answered an advert in a sweetie shop in Blackheath saying guitarists here, songs, gigs, the recording studio, everything. So Glenn Tilbrook's first girlfriend, Maxine Barker, pushed Glenn, go and meet this guy. So they met up, and there was not one grain of truth in the advert. But as Glenn says, what there was Chris for his lyrics. The lyrics are, I see it like a bit like Chaz and Dave, like London music. That side of things, short stories. A lot of Chris's stuff was written and influenced by Hancock's Half Hour and a program called Armchair Theatre. It used to be a 20-minute short play on BBC Two in the 70s. I sort of vaguely remember it, but short stories, storytelling. So that's how they met. So Glenn done the music, Chris done the vocals, and they still work that way. From day one, Glenn and Chris still do harmonies together, an octave higher and lower to each other. So they got the name Squeeze. Before that, previously they were called Captain Tundle's Sky Company, Skyco for short, they were called. They were called something else, but I can't repeat it on here. The name came from a Velvet Underground album called Squeeze. Now, the first person to produce the first single, which is here, is John Cale. who's in Velvet Underground. It was on Deptford Fun City Records. Now, this was 1977, which again I found out was the year Gateshead were formed. Now, people are going to say, no, it was well before that. It wasn't. Before that, it was Gateshead United, who folded, ceased to exist in 1973. So 1977 was the year, same year as this came out. So this single here is called Packet 3. It's just like an EP, that's the original one from the condition of that, 1977. 3 songs for this, to get into this concert in Jubilee, you had to donate a soft toy for charity, to help the local area. Now, that was the first ever gig. The current gig just now is this one, my VIP pass for the Sage. It's called Food for Thought. Okay, and I'm aware that Newcastle do this as well. It's for food banks. It's a Trussell Trust. So when you go to a Squeeze concert now, which is ongoing now as we speak, hand in a donation, a bucket, as Newcastle does, or some food or cash gift. Food for Thought. It's it's Glenn and Chris's way of giving something back, and the food stays in the place they're playing. So again, that's an amazing gesture. So there's another one of my VIP passes, both for the Sage, Gateshead, the massive in Gateshead. Again, going at the football side of things, an official TV. Glenn Tilbrook, the Singers band. We've got this as well. So there's so much. I mean, I've heard Glenn singing "God Save the Queen" to England versus Greece, late 90s possibly. Again, we'll go back to the songs. There's the first album. I'm going to show you the first album cover first. There's a little bit of a bit fun. That's the first album. Any idea who that is, Steve?
Well, with a figure like that, it's definitely not me. Right. I would say it's got to be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of.
It
is? Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, it's when he was Mr. Universe. So again, Squeeze first album, and they're quite sort of puny. I think back then everybody looked the same. John Cale produced this album, and his theme behind it was muscle and adult theme. I mean, there's songs called Bang Bang, a couple of other things on it. But Chris Difford said, look, I don't know what these things are. I'm not long born. So surprisingly, the 2 singles came off this album were the ones Glenn and Chris wrote and produced themselves. So they ditched John Cale. So obviously, there was a lot of singles coming off the back of them. Around about the same thing, the Police were on the go as well. Again, Sting from Newcastle. They were on the same record label as well, but they got pushed. The Police got pushed more into the limelight because they had more of a look. There used to be 4 in the Police originally. Not a lot of people know that. And the 3 that were in it have blonde hair. They had a look. Squeeze never had a look. They were never in fashion. They're never out of fashion because they were never in fashion. Even their covers are terrible. Every album cover Squeeze has terrible. So again, you've got songs that take you to certain places. Pulling Muscles from Michelle. A lot of people think it's Pulling Muscles for Michelle, as in the female name. It's about British traditional summer holidays, bingos, donkey rides, that sort of thing. Another Nail in My Heart. It's sort of drink influenced with a guy drowning his sorrows about relationship breakups. Up the Junction. That's one of the rare songs that the title is only ever named at the last verse, the last part of the song. Up the Junction. Another song that's only that I know of that does that is Virginia Plain. What's your name? Virginia Plain. Same Up the Junction. We're at the junction. We've got Cool for Cats. Cool for Cats got to number 2 in this country. And got beat by Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel. As Chris Difford says, I'll never eat rabbit ever again. The Watership Down. It did get to number 1 though. In Israel. That was their biggest chart success. This is why this album's called 45s and Under. Chart success has been awful, but when you go and see them, every gig's sold out. They've sold out the whole tour now. Massive in America. I mean, I think this year, or last year, they sold out 2 nights, Madison Square Gardens. you know, I mean, they've got like Heaven 17 supporting them on tour, John Peter Clark just now. Also been labelled as the godfathers of Britpop through the 90s. They never ever got the recognition, but when you look at bands who are influenced by them, it's unbelievable. Say from 1990 onwards, the majority of indie bands all through the 90s squeezed massively, including the People South. The Paul Heaton's, he's toured the Squeeze as well. Their main influences are Squeeze. Wait. Main influences are Squeeze. Song Goodbye Girl by Wet, is taken to court by Squeeze. Marty Pello chose a full verse of a song called Heartbreaking World, one of the rare songs that Jules Holland sings on. They said, yeah, release the song, we'll take the royalties. So there's an awful lot of influence that goes unnoticed. Chris Difford, I know he's been writing songs for Eric Clapton, Diana Ross, Elton John, Brian Ferry, he's managed him, Marty Pello. So there's a lot behind it. Again, Cool for Cats as well. I mean, this will tell people our age. I mean, I don't know if you remember when it was a milk advert on television. Do you remember that now?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an animated cartoon thing. So again, they've done that. All the cats are into milk and Cool for Cats. Again, on that video, London again, EastEnders, Michelle Collins. That's her first ever acting role, ever. Wearing a bright green leotard dancing. That was the first time she was ever on film, was that one. Another one, Pulling Muscles, that was an advert for Dr. Pepper in the States as well. But there's that much, is that love. It's quirky, tongue-in-cheek, you know, you've left my ring by the soap, now is that love, you know. Tempted, again, this is about people straining relationships, which was actually written from London on a taxi to Heathrow, the back of a beer mat. And then you used to get the old beer mats, peel it off, and if you wanted the girl's number, it was a plain bit paper. So that was written on that. Tempted. Glenn Tilbrook originally sang the song. Elvis Costello produced the album. This is on East Side Story, and perhaps it would be more suited for Paul Carrick. Paul Carrick was in the band called Ace. They've done that song How Long? You know, has this been going on? But he's a big solo artist now. He's doing his own thing, sort of quite bluesy. Another album there, I don't know if you can see this one here. It's called Around and About.
Yeah.
Recorded 1990, Newcastle City Hall. Still got that in video, again, fully signed. So that, again, that was Newcastle City Hall. It's quite cringeworthy. At the intro, Jules Holland comes on, tries to do a Geordie accent, shall we say. It's quite cringeworthy. So yeah, that got filmed. Again with Jules Holland. He sort of came into the fold after Glenn and Chris. They used to do busking in pubs. They got kicked out of school for not getting a haircut. They busk in pubs doing boogie-woogie songs in the late 70s, which is now what Jules does. The drummer for Jules' show just now is Gilson Ravis, who's Squeeze's original drummer. He used to be the security at the time as well, big burly guy. Amazing drummer, amazing sort of pop drummer. So he used to jump in and out of Squeeze all the time. So this got under Glenn's, you know, it niggled him, shall we say. And he sort of went back to Squeeze when he had nothing better to do. Glenn's words, not mine. Again, 1985, another outstanding programme was The Tube. Again, filmed in Newcastle. You know, there's other bands I like. They've got the nicknames for hardcore fans followings because they were found in Newcastle. There's so much history behind it. Again, they've had so many greatest hits albums out. There's a song called Hourglass as well. That won an MTV award. That again, that was done, filmed and produced by Aid Edmondson of the Young Ones as well. There's the second last album is called Cradle to the Grave, which is it's about Danny Baker's upbringing. Glenn and Chris are in that as well. Now, Danny Baker, again, we'll go back to Newcastle. They were all at school together, Jules, Danny Baker, and it was sort of how they grew up. The reason I'm saying Danny Baker in Newcastle is that I used to collect a lot of Gaza's videos. There was one, Gaza the Real Me, and it was Danny Baker sleeping at his door, Gaza's door, getting up, and Gaza's dad would cook his breakfast for him and such like that. So again, all these little things, they mean a lot to me personally, with my background. Again, there's albums, 17 albums. Memorabilia is far too much. That would definitely have to be a special for that. Again, they've always been like bands. I mean, like Blondie used to support Squeeze, but all these bands that they supported, they became bigger bands at the time. So again, Glenn and Chris, they left, they went solo, done their own thing. On Jules Holland quite a lot. I don't know if that's just, I don't know. I think I would imagine that would be a little bit awkward. I do. That's my personal thoughts. Leaving Squeeze, you had nothing better to do. Such lights. Again, albums, Throw the Cats, Play, East Side Story, which became a West End show called Labelled with Love. It was from the songs from East Side Story and Archie Bargy, sort of like got into one sort of long story, one, history, the stories of the songs.
Yeah.
Which came out of it. I've never ever seen it before. Seen Glenn and Chris so many times. Again, if you look behind us, the backstage passes, autograph signatures, stubs, that's I've collected personally myself over the years, which I find strange because now you get these passes. I mean, I've seen Glenn solo 10 times, to the point he's came up after the show, asked how it was, sat with me another pint, and I'm just telling the background of Squeeze. Chris Stifford as well, was tiny. Chris Stifford in the middle there. You can see with the sunglasses, but 4 of them do. I went to see him. It was Chris Stifford and his Invisible Friends. There was about 20 people turned up, and it was in a place called Musselburgh, Brunton Theatre, and I heard a door slamming, and I didn't book him any digs, so I offered to put him up for the night. Again, recognised me from the gigs, because when they're gigging solo, it's just little clubs, and they're doing stripped down versions, acoustic versions, and telling stories about the songs behind it and influences, and that side of it. So I came very close to that. I'm staying at my house, but again, at least I got to meet them, and it'd be like yourself with football and fans with football, and it's that story to tell, and it's you can't buy these things, these thoughts, the happiness it brings.
100%, mate.
Sorry?
I'm saying 100%. You're right. Just getting back to the Squeeze's music and this particular album, Rob. Have you got a particular favourite song?
100%. The song is called "Another Nail in My Heart," and it's quite ironic because the song fits how my life's been. Again, remember my sister listening to it on LP, probably this one, and then I went on a school trip. I think it was primary. It would have been primary school to Edinburgh Zoo, and we were sitting having a lunch, and it came on the radio, and it sort of took me back to a warm place. It's still my favourite song to this day. I was still 10, 1980. So I was 10 when that came out, and it's still, the amount of versions I've got of this, like demos that Glenn's given me. Every Squeeze song has been done in demo. Glenn does all the demos on piano. So Chris Stifford will hand him lyrics, and then Glenn will do the music. But the music might be different from the lyrics, what it's saying. So it's that quirkiness, again, like the Beautiful South, with an upbeat, happy feel. But some of the songs are a bit down. Squeeze have got that, but Another Nail in My Heart is, every time I hear it, I still get that warm feeling. That's been my favourite song. I'm 52 now, and I was 10, and it's still my favourite song. It's a song that's followed me through life. Again, this was released on VHS as well. The videos are very, very cringeworthy and embarrassing. again, there was no fashion sense of Squeeze. There was nothing. There you go. Harry Kikuli behind Jules Holland. We've got Glenn on the left, Harry on the right. He now has, as far as I'm aware, a laundrette in Deptford. The Squeeze are from. I get Catford, Deptford area, South East London. But again, Jules is doing this thing. Squeeze is still on the go. The only original members is still Glenn and Chris. That's they fallouts. I mean, there was a song. There's a song called Play. There, Chris Difford had a full breakdown in the States. He left. Didn't tell any of the band. But the songs on the album that is absolutely stunning. There's a song called The Truth, and it's Chris Difford telling Glenn how he feels, how to confront him, how to tell him how he's feeling. But it was in the song, you know, when the truth has to be told, a blood runs hot and cold. The truth is not my middle name. You know, the lyrics again. To me, I read these lyrics like books, and it takes me to a place, a happy place. You know, and it's about life, a kitchen sink drama, some people call it. But to me, it's story based, and I don't think there's not much of that anymore. You know, story based, you know, songs anymore. So,
Rob, great stuff as always. Very thorough. Thoroughly enjoyed that, mate, and thank you for sharing, you know, some of the information and stuff that you collated over the years. And looking forward to having you on the next show, mate. And quick update on Garen Kowal, please.
He had an awful game today. He died, but he's not getting the service. He came on the second half. He was on the bench. Came on the second half. It's awful. But again, I think Hearts were pleased with that game getting out the way. Same with Newcastle, Liverpool. Now I think you'll all relax. You've probably all forgotten about that already, and it's now Wembley.
Yeah.
That's it. That's in the past. It's the past. In fact, the past has been written and labelled with love. One of the songs.
I like the fact you got a Squeeze reference in there. Rob, as always, mate, absolute pleasure to speak to you, mate. Look forward to getting you on again very soon with your next album review. Take care, Rob.
Okay, thank you.
A big thanks to all our sponsors, starting with Skips and Bins, telephone 0800 25 45 25 3, email inquiries at skipsandbins.com, website skipsandbins.com, easy contract free and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Thanks to Mr. Vicky's Sauces, handmade in Cumbria. You can order them from mrvickies.co.uk, email them at info@mrvickies.co.uk, or call them on 01768 210 102. Why not try some new beers at Blowhole Brewery? You can find them at blowholebrewery.co.uk. Thanks also to United Group Travel, UK Coach Holidays based in Morpeth. Telephone 01670 362 460 or mobile 07957 141 654. Graham, your driver, Beverly answering your calls and looking after you on your tour. Thanks also to 3 Properties. They specialise in sourcing investment properties for their clients who are looking to invest in the North East. They offer a full in-house service from sourcing the deals to managing the properties for you. They've done over 100 plus deals in the last 12 months for clients all over the UK. Give the guys a follow on Instagram, matty.patter_northeast property and phil.reed_northeast property, or email phil@3property.co.uk if you're interested in getting a good property deal. Thanks to qtechshop.co.uk, the makers of pool tables and snooker tables in Wallsend, Newcastle, and the guys who run our website, NUFCmatters.com. Thanks to Media Arts for all the videos. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button underneath this video today. Hit the thumb up to like the video and click share to your social media. If you're out and about, you can catch us as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and the rest. If you want to join the channel, click join and you'll find out our membership packages down there. Very easy to do. Or if you want to become a cult member, £25 a month, go to NUFCmatters.com and look for membership pack, or put your smartphone over the QR code and it will take you straight there. Anyone who subscribes to the channel will get a free car sticker. To get your car sticker, simply email john@nufcmatters.com. Got a few events coming up over the next few weeks. Steve Howie, Friday the 24th of February at the Tyneside Irish Centre. Tickets available for £29 on voucher. An evening with Nobby Solano, Saturday the 25th of March. Tickets £15. Book at nufcmatters.com. Nobby Solano is also at Felling Cricket Club on Good Friday the 7th of April at 4 o'clock. Tickets are £10 and available behind the bar. And an evening with Frank Clark and John Gibson, Thursday the 20th of April. That's at the Tyneside Irish Centre. Tickets are £15. Book now at nufcmatters.com. We've also got a vast array of t-shirts available at the website. If you want your special Wembley t-shirt, you can go to nufcmatters.com and get one now while stocks last.